And this is the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, episode 16, The One That Got Away. It's your host, IJ, with Avery and Misty, and so happy, again, to be here and talk about our shidduch journey and the siblinghood, brotherhood, sisterhood of, that is, Nobody Talks Shidduchim. Avery.
Are you really that happy to be here?
That sounded so dead.
I'm so happy. Well, I want to go in with a very
That
chill,
did not sound happy.
I did not at all.
approach to our audience. I'm more of an NPR kind of mood.
You sound like you're about to announce a game of golf between two cricket players.
Well, I just came from the golf course, actually.
And here he is on the hole number 9.
Well, yesterday was like 60 degrees, so that's why.
The weather is windy
Anyway.
with a slight breeze towards the cooler.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Anyhow.
We have Avery here who's going to get into our topic and other stuff in this heavy, deep episode, because it's a serious episode today.
Thank you, IJ, for calling on me. So in today's episode, we are going to be discussing a whole range of topics, and we even have a little bit of a bonus for you guys at the end that we're going to talk about, which we hope you appreciate and enjoy as much as we did.
Well, tell them what
coming
it is.
up with the topic. It's going to be
Purim.
a bit of a Purim topic. We all love Purim, especially when we're single. So we're going to go through some of these scenarios about that. But the initial topic for today's episode is the one that got away. Have you ever had a person tell you or have had a crush on somebody or went out with someone and you thought that this was close to being the one that you could marry, go out with long term, and get into that long relationship?
Hey listeners, it's Misty from the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, and I understand that between work, school, and your shidduch responsibilities, it can be really difficult to find time to read. Well, now, thanks to Audible, you can listen to your favorite books and authors anywhere at any time. I love that I've been able to catch up on the latest audiobooks with Audible, including some audiobooks by my favorite authors, John Grisham, Colleen Hoover, and Rachel Hollis. Whether I'm in my car, at the gym, shopping for groceries, or even during bad dates, I love how convenient Audible is. Here's how you sign up for the Audible. Just click on the link in our show notes and you get a free 30-day trial along with 3 free audiobooks. Remember, the average person reads 12 books a year, so don't be average.
I've had situations where I thought that this was the one that I was going to marry. I could have married her, looked spectacular on resume, but it didn't end up getting there. And, you know, there's some ideas that we could think of in terms of the one that got away. Like, or do you have any regrets about this one that got away? Did you seek outside help to know that this was the one that got away from you? Does it occur only with shidduchim, or does it occur in any other place? Is it a crush, or is it an actual relationship? You know, Misty, has that situation ever happened to you? I'm curious to hear.
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like when people hear that title of the one that got away, I feel like everybody, okay, not everybody, but majority have somebody that comes to mind, or like a few people, you know, like, oh, I shouldn't have let them go. I shouldn't have said no to them. I shouldn't have, you know, so I think we all can relate to it. If it was a crush, I hate that term. Why? It reminds me of like when you were younger, you had a crush on like that cute celebrity guy or whatever. Like that's what it reminds me, you know, like that's a crush. But like in shidduchim and dating, I feel like it's not a crush. It's like somebody you can actually see yourself getting married to.
Well, I disagree that it's not a crush. I think it could be a crush. It could be called a crush because you really love their look. You got their picture. You think
like
that it's for you.
So it's the infatuation, and that's the infatuation.
It's infatuation. Yeah, infatuation's a little longer though than crush. It's a infatuation, 3 syllables. But I think it's something like you like their hobbies. You've seen them. You think they're funny. You've heard. You call their references, and you think they're really good for you.
Yeah.
So that's why you crush on them, and then either it got away because you said no, or because they said no, or something got in the way of that. Yeah. So that's more of a crush than thinking I'm going to go date every single person who is on CW TV, from One Tree Hill, from Supernatural. Like I know those girls had all those crushes back in the day on those shows.
Well, now I guess it would be what's that Archie show with the red hair? That one everyone watches now. I don't know, honestly. I'm old.
Yeah, we're all old.
But that's a crush. That's an unrealistic crush.
Right.
But there are such things as Jewish crushes that we.
Well, let's just redefine the term crush. Like, it's someone, like Miss D said, someone who, you kind of get a little, they bring a smile to your face and you're really thinking, hey, that's someone I want to be with. I want to spend time with them. And right now, from this very outside perspective, very shallow perspective of them, I feel like I can live the rest of my life with that person. And obviously you have so much going after that. There's a lot afterwards where get to know them, get to the family, see if your lives can blend,
Right.
of course. But a crush is a nice thing. A crush is a cool thing. But I would call it the one that got away. I wouldn't necessarily refer to a crush, because I would refer to a crush like, Hollywood crush, Instagram crush, whatever, right? Like something in that mind.
So what stage would you consider it that you've had to have been for them to be the one that got away? Does it have to be the initial dating stage? Does it have to be a later, longer term stage of dating?
It could be any stage. Awesome. It could be any stage. It could, a lot. I think a lot of our audience, the first crush they get is when they're maybe 10, 12, 14, young.
Yeah.
And they're thinking about a friend's older brother, a friend's older sister. Mm-hmm. And they're thinking about, oh, hey, he's cute. He's cute. Or I would, as a guy, I'd be like, oh, she's hot.
For me, it was Zoe 101.
I love
like
that
Zoe.
show.
What a crush, man.
She was cute. Yeah. She was very cute. I liked her sister. I like Brittany. I was a Brittany guy. I was a Brittany guy. But yeah, I think it starts with that. And that's really a lot where the Disney effect comes from, because we're growing up and you're going to shul and you're seeing fat schlubby men and like women with like shetels, and it's like
they have that disgusting laugh like Cruella de Vil.
So I think like the millennials got really sucked, got really hit hard by that, because we were like getting everything from TV. So a crush is good. A crush is a great thing to have, but again, it starts really when you're a child.
So it's a very different thing than the one that got away. So that's a different term.
But it preludes to the one that got away, because that's where you're getting a lot of the buildup from in your mind from the one that got away, right? It starts when you're young, when you're bar bat mitzvahed, you're starting to watch different TVs. Right. You're in junior high, you're in high school, you're seeing older guys, you're seeing older girls, you're going over to your friends' houses. So you're getting that buildup then, and you're getting this picture in your mind of that would be really awesome right there. That would be great. That girl would be amazing, So you're getting all that buildup in there. So, and then when you kind of get into shidduchim, the one that got away, it has a big effect on that. It does have a very big effect on that.
Interesting. So I think, let me ask you, because does that crush shape how you date? I'm curious to know about this. Does like the crush that you went out with, like that idea of the person you had in mind from whatever young TV show you had, whatever movie you watched that you saw people fall in love.
Right.
Does that shape the person that you want to date in shidduchim?
Yes.
It does,
sure.
Right?
Yes, because in the beginning, especially in the beginning for me, like growing up when I was very into, watching all these movies and stuff, like Celebrity, I was very into that. Cool. They're like all of these like, like High School Musical and like all these like cool shows and stuff. So growing up having a crush on all these like actors and singers, it definitely like when I was getting into dating, like actually dating shidduchim, I was like, whoa, like I want that. Like why not? There are Jewish like, okay, not actors, but like singers and stuff. So definitely like it made me want to go after that.
And did you discuss it amongst your friends? Like, this guy reminds me of Zac Efron.
I've not met a guy yet that has reminded me of Zac Efron, sadly.
There's not that many Jewish guys that could possibly remind you of Zac Efron.
People said that about me, actually.
Until you started eating cholent.
Oh.
I'll meet you in the parking lot after the show.
I think it definitely like affected me. Because it made me want to go after that.
Everyone, we got hit hard by it. The Disney effect, we really did.
It's really bad. It can like.
But you did discuss it with your friend. Like, I don't know why there's a stigma, in my opinion, that girls can discuss their crush out in the public, but when guys do it, oh my God, it's the world is over.
Right,
you're disgusting. You're nasty.
This is how you say
Talk
it.
about women.
Why is that, Misty?
Because you guys are weird.
Oh, so if I say, that woman, that's someone I want to end up with in shidduch. That's who I want to.
You probably don't say it like that.
I want more girls like her.
Chef.
You actually dated the person or not, and we can take it for both those areas. Whether either way, most of the time with the one that got away, you got rejected by them, and it's really tough. It's very tough to handle. A lot of insecurity comes out. the that sensitive person, the sensitivity in you needs to get loose, and that energy needs to be let out.
So has it happened to you? IJ?
Oh, it's happened to me. Yeah, many times. And your initial state of mind is, what's wrong with me? How come what could I have done? What should I have done? What could I have done? And it's a little bit of what we discussed in the revisiting, where you just don't know what that person subconsciously needs, or even subconsciously needs, because you weren't there when they grew up. You weren't there when they were going through those tough times. You weren't even there. You don't know what a person's going through or how they were raised, in essence. And to get more into that, you'd have to think about, well, maybe you remind them, you remind them of the person that bullied them, and that's it. It'll never happen until that person maybe gets help, or even in that case, it's not gonna really happen. Nothing's gonna come about it.
So speaking about when somebody, rejects you and quote unquote breaks your heart, I think it's important to seek outside help. I think that it's crucial to heal from that, because otherwise it will affect you in, future relationships. And by help, I mean, it doesn't have to be therapy. And I think people have such a bad, what's the word? They just, when you think of therapy, people are like, no, I'm not going to therapy.
Connotation.
Yeah. Thank you.
Negative
so, which I don't agree on at all, because I feel like if you need help, you just need help. There's no shame in that. And so whether it's therapy, or it's going to a Rav, or going to somebody, you just trust that you can speak about it, and just let it all out, because it's so important to just talk about your feelings.
Who else would you talk to aside from a Rav, or let's say a therapist?
Family, like an older sibling, or a friend, a really good friend that just gets you. I
go talk to Avery all the time.
Oh, so sweet. Best friends.
No.
He's like, no. Just really anybody you trust, anybody. So.
Well, yeah. I would kind of pivot off of that because it is so significant. You don't even realize, because when I did end things with some of those girls, and I would start thinking about, okay, I need her, but I guess just with another name and a different person. So I'm now, it basically, it's affecting future relationships.
Yeah.
That's a huge, huge thing in terms of the one that got away.
Right.
It could affect you. It will affect you. You're going to start trying to find that person subconsciously.
So it's good and bad, I feel
and try to find that person. And you might have to date a bunch of those people and go through them and then realize, oh, wow, that's not what I need really in life. Oh, okay, I think I get it now. So it's good to talk to someone to get to that epiphany moment and say, oh, so that kind of person doesn't work for me. For example, I feel like I see it a lot when it's a really short girl with a very tall guy. And they just they start chasing tall guys. I need this tall guy. I need that tall guy. And then they kind of get to a tall guy that it's going well and they like, but they're like, it's not the one for me. And in their back of the mind, they're like, oh, so there's something wrong here. What is it? And whatever it is, it could be a bunch of different things. Maybe they needed a shorter guy. Maybe there was really other factors that she was overlooking.
Right.
And you waste a lot of time with that. So it can be very dangerous if you don't overcome the one that got away.
Yeah.
If you don't face it directly. If it keeps on happening, definitely see a professional. Talk to a Rav. Talk to a Rebbitzin. I feel women have to speak to Rebbitzins.
Why?
When it comes to seeking help.
Go ahead. Well, I was just saying, why do women have to speak to before Avery tells it? No. Go talk to a woman. I mean, you can talk to a rabbi also. It's fine, but I feel like it's more appropriate. Sarah Imenu handled the women. Avraham Avinu handled the men. Let's just take it from there.
When it comes to seeking help, I think some of the worst advice, and not worst, but worst for you, how it feels, can be family. Because family can be very harsh. All they want to do, they want to see the best for you. They want to see you married, and they're very biased, and they want to push you to do that. And it could be really difficult. And they're like, why don't you just keep going? Yeah, we want you to get married. And you have a whole conflict going on with your family or friends who also are married and they want you to push you to get married. So that's something that could be very tough. They're like, why'd you not stop going out with this girl? They don't know her.
Right.
All they know is you and what they want for you.
Right. No, I hear. Also, they say like don't talk to your single friends sometimes because like they're single and they may not, want the best for you because they're also in the same boat. So I don't know. I feel like, yeah, you just have to find someone you really trust, and whether it's family or
Yeah. So does it? What would you tell them? What would you tell them if you had a second chance to this person? What would you say to them? To a person that you thought was the one and they got away?
I think to be completely honest with my feelings, and that I think in dating, I think in shidduchim in general, that there's no room for pride or ego. Many times we're like, why should I say something?
Definitely.
Why should I do that? Like, I mean, there's no room for it. Otherwise, it's gonna like mess you over, and then you're gonna regret it. So I don't think there's any room for that. And to just get over your like that feeling and just say what you need to say. And I feel like sometimes you just want, like, you try to fight your feelings. You want to like not tune into them, but I think you should just go for it. Like, you owe it to yourself to just.
Do you think people leave when they finish dating somebody and they break up, or there's a mutual end? Do you think there's not a lot of closure in shidduchim?
For sure.
Is that one of the big issues that happens?
Because people are like, just date, like you were saying, like date, like just get married. Like, that's the thing. But like, people forget you have to be married. Yeah, but you want to be happy also. You want to be like emotionally healthy, and like, if you're just dating just to date, what's that going to do?
People don't understand that it's quality over quantity.
Yeah.
One time I actually decided to volunteer my time for an ad in one of these WhatsApp groups that some girl posted that I knew of. So she posted looking for people to operate a call center for like a Torathon, for like a fundraiser, Jewish fundraiser, So basically, I sign up, get my information in. I go to this place in Brooklyn, and I'm expecting like this Verizon Wireless T-Mobile call center. But I walk in, knock on the door. The secretary sends me to the back. Run to the back. I pop my head in a classroom. I go, I'm looking for the call center, and some rabbi sitting at the desk is like, "Oh yeah, it's right here. This is it." And I'm looking, and there's literally like 3 kids. One of them is not Jewish. One of them is Jewish, and one of them sleeping.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, some call center. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and it's quantity. I'm like, the rabbi's like, we got to do this and fundraise and this, and it's for this cause. And I'm thinking, yeah. I want to get to this cause, man. And so I threw down text messages all day. I was texting like a beast. Text. Literally froze my phone, had to restart it, get my second phone out, download Google apps, start texting there. Just second phone number, trying to get my these blasts out. I got nowhere. I think I fundraised about $15 the whole day. Wow. The rabbi sits down in the chair, does the total. He's like, guys, watch this. Calls up one guy on the phone, schmoozes with him. How's the family? What's going on? Bam. Guy writes out a check for $2,000. So the point is like you were saying, Misty, like focus on the quality.
Yeah.
Focus on the quality. And I just don't think people know how to do it. And it's okay. It's okay you don't know how to do it. We don't know how to do it. And we're trying to help each other out here.
Right.
All right, getting personal. Do you think there's somebody that you could have married that got away, that you would have been married
Such
to?
a deep question.
I'm going to get personal here. I think...
Have you? Wait, let's turn this on you.
You can turn it on me. I don't think that there is somebody that I would have stayed married to. There are people that I probably could have married.
Wow. No, that's actually
and
really
then the
point.
Best thing for me, of course, at the end, and then obviously having an outside perspective once it's over, I would not have been married to them long term.
Wow.
Probably. So it's an important thing to realize that maybe you would have you could have gotten to the marriage point, but it doesn't have to necessarily continue. That's
big because it shows you like, sometimes you think you know what you want, what you need in the moment. And then you're like, afterwards you can see why that person wasn't good for you or something. And then like you're saying, that's really crazy. Like I would not have been married, like stayed married to them. Whoa, that's huge. Yeah, no. I definitely had, I think that like person like, oh, I wanted to marry them and stuff. But looking back now, I'm like, thank God it didn't work out because like, like you were saying, everything happens for a reason. And that like, sometimes you can't see that reason in the moment, but like, you know, afterwards you sometimes like God lets you see why it didn't work out. So yeah.
Especially when I think that person gets married.
Yeah, that's something else.
Or you get to know them better, get to know their friends, etc. But yeah, look, there have definitely been some girls, definitely one or two that, you know, I really thought I could have married, and it really bites at Avery. What you were saying before is that whether you're old or young, you're just so obsessed that at a certain point when things are going well and you're just getting used to the system where, hey, you broke shadchan, you went on the first date, you went on the second date, you met the family, you met the siblings, you chilled, whatever it is, you're passing those, you're in the car and you're driving. So you're going through those checkpoints and you're hitting them and you're like, wow, I'm gonna have to win now. But no, like the car can still crash and burn.
That's what's scary.
I don't think people have that many
If you have
people that have gotten away from marriage. It's because some people gotten away from a long-term marriage. Maybe it's just a short-term marriage. Like some people's mindset is the goal for some people is just get married, as opposed to stay married.
Yeah.
So find somebody who will marry you
Right.
quickly, you know, and get it done, have that marriage. And
Do you feel
just
like
make
there
it
are a lot?
hasana,
Do you
just
feel
because their friends are married and because there are outside pressures?
Do you feel like there are a lot of people out there who are only married today because they just felt pressure to get married?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, it's sad.
Definitely.
Really sad.
Definitely. And that ends up becoming something that you're happy about them getting away and not being married to them, because maybe you would have fallen into that pressure because maybe at the time you were dating them, you have a best friend who just got married right before you.
Right.
And
so you're like,
say,
I want that. Like,
wow, this guy can get married. I need to get married. And
yeah.
you need to keep dating this girl. But you say, okay, maybe I should just, you know, propose to her on the spot.
Right.
So that's something that I've been in mindsets before, like, you know, that I've said, oh, this guy can get married. Heck yeah, I should do it. But I want to stay married. My point is just to filter out for the right person, not just for that
It's so
short-term
sad.
ephemeral feeling.
Because I think that's a big thing in shidduchim where like people just get married. I'm not saying everybody, but like people just get married to get married, and then you see afterwards they're not happy in their marriage. And I have friends like that like they tell me stuff, and I'm like, whoa, like, you know, looking from afar and looking like on Instagram, whatever, you guys have like the perfect life.
Yeah.
And then they like tell you like what's really going on behind the scenes, and you're like, I never would have guessed that. And like, I don't envy you. You know, I don't want that kind of marriage. I want like to be happy.
Yeah, that bites. But I feel like we are in a societal way, like advancing in that area. It's not like how it was like 10, 15 years ago or even 5 years ago where everyone's like, oh, their life's perfect on Instagram. I think everyone's kind of getting used, really understanding like in the back of their mind that is one point. That's one part of a certain person's life. But young kids young kids coming in don't. That's for sure.
I think it also falls into like older people.
Or even
into
old
it.
people, yeah.
It's like, oh, Instagram.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Unfortunately.
Hey listeners, it's Avery from the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast, and we'd like to thank our sponsors for this week's episode, Pescata. Pescata is both a premier steakhouse and a high-end dairy restaurant. That's right, they have both a meat and dairy location each and are conveniently located in the heart of Flatbush. With their luxurious decor, rich cuisine, and premier service, Pescata is becoming known as one of the go-to restaurants in the tri-state area. And for a limited time, you'll get a free dessert when you mention this podcast. So if you're sick and tired of the boring old Manhattan steakhouses and need a fresh new date spot, make Pescata your next choice.
I try to live life where you don't regret, but sometimes you can't help but be in a situation where like you let somebody go or they said no to you, so you know, like it's not really in your control. Yes, and it's hard to deal with rejection. I think that's like another whole episode, you know, like how to deal with somebody rejecting you and stuff like that. But I have gone through it, and I feel like everybody I know has gone through it. But
like, have you ever gotten a resume? You look it up, you see the guy, or hear about somebody getting engaged, and you're like, that could have been me. I wanted to go out with this person. Now they're engaged, and another one that got away that you thought would have been perfect for you. Yeah. Sadly, that's happened to a lot of us. You know? And that's not...
So I think, so I would say that it's very real. I would say it's very real, the one that got away. And don't let anyone ever push you around for that. Because I've had pushback from shadchanim, my friends, family, and tell them, you don't know what you're talking about. And you're,
what do you mean
pushback?
Like what?
No, they're minimizing the situation. They're minimizing it. They're trying to minimize it. Like move on, go away. No, it's very serious. It's like that's real feelings there.
Yeah, everybody does that. It's so annoying.
It's like, no, just,
move on. I hate that.
It wasn't shaykh anyway, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, this was like, I really could have seen it work out. And there's so many things. I mean, especially if you're more experienced. If you're younger, okay. For someone who's actually, been dating, has siblings in dating, knows what they're looking for, you can see a lot of that.
I think it's real if you have a mindset where you live in the past and you have regrets and you think about all these things.
You have a hater.
Then that's real. It's really then they got away.
Yeah, no, but I think it's both. I think it definitely is a real thing when it's in the moment, like while you're experiencing it, it is definitely real and it can feel very real. But like you were saying afterwards, like once it's actually over, it's like an idea. It's a nice idea. It's like something that was once and that you hold on to it. It could definitely mess with you in the future. So yeah, I think it's both. Definitely.
So what could you have done? What could you have done to save it? Right? Was there something? And you're kind of like, it's engraved in your mind. You're thinking about, you're reflecting, you're throwing out reasons, what happened, why it happened. Was it me? Was it her? Was it our parents? What is the shadchan? Should I have taken her to this restaurant? Should I have taken her to that restaurant? Maybe I should have worn something. Maybe I shouldn't have told so many jokes. Maybe you see, there's so much to it. So like, when's that point come that you just got to like smack yourself in the face and just be like, all right, enough. Like, yeah, where do you go from there? Miss D.
Get married.
Get married. Well, Avery, you were saying good point. Which is just throw yourself right back into jail dating.
That's probably the one thing.
Which, by the way, I've done many times. Like, again, that's why I think guys, that's actually an interesting point. I think we just discovered something. That's probably why guys go on a lot more dates, because women would handle that.
Yeah.
Tell me, Misty. Women would cry. They would not want to talk to a shadchan for 2 months, 2 years, and they couldn't see and they wouldn't be able to look at a single Jewish guy for at least a year and a half after the one that got away broke their heart. But for a guy, we jump right back into it. We go right back into the ring. We Muhammad Ali style, take the next round, go right back into it, and like, hey, send me the resumes. Let's go. Pound the resumes. Give me the list. Give me the list. Because I know some people have been guilty of that. Let's just say that.
No, that's true. I agree. Yeah. Because we feel, you guys don't feel anything. You're like made out of, I don't know what, stone or something. Yeah.
Thank you.
So definitely girls, yes, we take a little bit longer. Actually, some girls don't. I feel like some friends are like, no, whatever, who cares? Next. Thank you, next, as the song goes. So like, yeah, I wish I could be like
but
that.
It's crucial, right, to get them out of your head.
Oh, for sure.
So don't look them up on Instagram. Don't look them up on Facebook. Don't look them up. If you see them at a restaurant, you totally avoid that person afterward, right? You
wouldn't go up to them, but like, it's hard not looking them up. It's hard not like, not to care.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I do like to keep up and I do like to see where they are. I personally, a big thing for me is like when I do see them get engaged, there is a part, that's when I get that final closure. When I see them getting engaged, I'm like, okay, that was not the one for me. Right. Now, like Avery mentioned before, I put the guy's picture up who they got engaged to and throw darts. Yeah, throw darts at him. We've done a few of those. I'll throw darts at him. That son of a gun. So yeah, basically there is that. I don't know, what do girls do? Did the girls do something? Is there a ritual?
Yeah, we hang up the guy's picture also and throw knives.
Oh, axe throwing. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that.
That's a food snob type of thing to do.
Can't help it.
Did she teach you that?
Maybe. Probably, yes.
She would. Think she wanted to throw axes at me.
Yes, she had. No, I'm joking.
And for the audience, we had a little bit of a bonus segment for you guys. We wanted to just go over, since the holiday is coming up, a little Purim time, which we all love. Misty really loves it. She likes to dress up.
Stop. Actually, I do. Okay, moving on. Yes.
Since we have the holiday Purim coming up, we wanted to go through some Purim Shidduch discussion. and get to some quick points here. And,
Well, I'll take it away. I will tell you right now. I hate Purim as a single person. And I'm sorry to say that. I love Purim as a Jew, but as a single person, I hate Purim because it has become the holiday of, hey, loser, you're not married and I am.
That's
ha,
like
ha, ha.
every
That's
holiday.
what the holiday has become. No, but even more than anything else, especially with social media, especially with all those other things, that's the problem with that. So as me as a single, yes, I'm nervous. I'm concerned. I have no one to partner up with. Think about it, Miss D. You bumped into a guy, okay, wearing a Tinkerbell outfit, and he was single. Right, exactly. I'm looking at her face right now, and it's like,
Why would you dress up as Tinkerbell?
But what if he was married?
No,
Then you'd
it's still retarded.
Okay, he's retarded, but interesting. Okay, I think I could see it then. Don't lie. That would be your mindset.
No, it's
you would go,
it's
like,
still
maybe
retarded.
there is something there.
No,
Maybe there's
it's
something
still
there.
retarded. And then
Okay,
makes you
fine.
think of
So
the wife.
let me not use a Tinker. Well, she's dressed up as Peter Pan.
It makes me want to judge both of them.
But again, for sure. Well, I love to judge everyone, so
Right.
that's great.
Yes.
But I'm just telling you that's where that thing is coming in. No,
Horrible.
Avery?
Hate it. I hated it when I was not single, though. So, at this point, what is the difference? But the worst thing
That I
about
believe.
the worst, you do believe it, right?
Yes.
I didn't drink, so till I started dating. The worst thing about it is the matching couples.
You don't like
dressed up.
that? I think it's so cute. And then they have a
Classic.
baby,
It
and then
hurts
they like
my soul
the
with
ba-
the
Then the
little
baby is like-
The baby's cumin, they're salt and pepper. Cumin, salt and pepper.
or they dress
I would
up
do
as
that.
Starbucks cups.
Yes,
all of them.
I saw that. I would do that.
Mustard and ketchup.
Who are we? In 10 years, this kid is going to be walking around the streets, and he was dressed up like a little Starbucks cup, like
garbage
his
can.
parent.
What's wrong with that? It's
terrible.
Purim.
It's
It's
pretty ridiculous. But no, again, of course, like if I had a girlfriend, if I had a wife tomorrow, and she's like, hey, let's go dress up. I'm like, yeah, hon, whatever you want. We'll dress up, and let's rub it in the face of others. So it is really it just sucks out there because single people, I think this, especially really with social media and WhatsApp, by the way, I don't just mean, oh yeah, Facebook and like WhatsApp especially. You're on there, you're looking at people, you're like, okay, wow, the whole Jewish world, everyone has someone I know, no one to dress up with, etc. So we were actually, what can you wear, what can't you wear? So you're saying you can't wear a Tinkerbell on. Okay, fine. So that one
I don't like that girls dress up in general. Like if I look them up and I'm
Whoa.
going up to date them and they dress up in a costume and
Why?
I find their
So I'll
Instagram
throw it
with
at
the
your
old.
face. I'll throw it at your face.
Yeah.
What if they look very attractive? Oh, all
Look
of a sudden
attractive.
it changes the
attractive.
situation. All of a sudden it changes.
Look attractive,
Wait, whoa,
dressed
whoa,
up in a nice gown.
What
or
if they look?
something.
I'm saying,
Don't dress
with the
up.
goyim have it. It's like
Yeah.
they look hot.
They put
let's
those,
say.
like,
they look
little
very
kitty-
That's okay. See,
Not,
he's saying
not
it's
appropriate.
okay.
Not appropriate.
So
They look too happy.
So it's not appropriate.
They're too happy.
No,
Well,
it
tell me
depends
which
what
one
you,
it is.
They're a little too
you
happy.
dress up as. Depends
No,
what you're.
anything.
Why?
Anything dressed up is too happy.
Well, tell
Why?
me what you think it is then. With your
Oh, with me personally?
Yeah.
I told you they look too happy for me. There's too much
that's that
joy.
happiness. Okay, so exactly what
I
I'm
don't want
saying.
you having
It's
that good of a time.
Right, so
That's
they
all.
have that happiness.
Even if I wasn't single, I would say that. So
Okay.
I don't want you having.
So
that
welcome.
good
So
of a-
so you're
Oh my
you're a single
gosh.
person suffering from singleism, which one of the diagnoses is aloneness. Okay, that's what it is. And
Extremism.
all the way in the inside.
they get extreme on
Yeah.
Purim. What about not Purim?
Well,
Are
people
you gonna
go
get
the
But
other
guys
way.
get
depressed?
extreme on Purim too with the drinking. If
Most
you-
guys do.
No, okay.
IJ and I don't.
Yeah,
That's-
right.
that's
I
the
do not believe
difference.
that.
Well, I
if
like
you're in
cigars, so-
Israel in Purim,
You're not smoking cigars on Purim like a chimney.
yeah. Oh,
No, guys
a
go
chimney.
crazy on
Oh
Purim.
yeah, and I'm a wine
Yeah.
guy anyway.
especially in Israel. If you've been in Israel for Purim,
I have. I was the
Scary.
one guy in my
Scary.
yeshiva
Who
who
wants to
didn't
smoke?
drink on
Yeah.
Purim.
wait, what?
When everybody else drinks, I'm not drinking.
Wow.
That's the halacha. Halacha. It's v'nahapachu.
So I would
Nice.
just say like, yeah, a guy can't look like too Tinkerbelly. No way. That's
No,
off the
in
chart.
general, don't-
Yeah, a nice. It
Don't
has
dress
to click.
up as the opposite gender.
No, that's definitely not
Right.
opposite gender.
Don't do that.
Don't wear like a Barney costume, Barney the dinosaur. That's off the top. That's off limits. Don't dress up as a caveman. That's just weird. Again, a weirdo. But yeah, something cute, something people get. You know, one of these guys I knew dressed up as Jake from State Farm a few years ago.
Cute.
Someone was Flo. Someone I knew last year was Flo from the Progressive. Yeah, like those are
creative.
Those are very cute, creative,
Oh,
very creative. I think people see your creativity in there. So is it? By the way, is that a make or break? Is Purim a make or break? Let's say Avery, you meet this girl who you're obsessed with. You want to get married
at the Purim party,
and she is crazy dressed up, and you're just sitting there like literally in cargos and a t-shirt.
Yeah, she's gone.
She's gone.
Are you
okay,
serious?
so it's a
Sayonara.
No.
Sayonara.
well, he doesn't get out of the
I don't go
comfort
for
box.
that. I don't go for that.
What?
Yeah. So I mean,
So when you're married, you're not going to dress up?
I've been invited to multiple singles Purim parties, you know, with the singles thing and the Purim parties, and it's a dress up party. And I tell my friends, all of them, I'm like, I'll go to the party, but I'm not dressing up. It's not happening.
Why? Even when you're married, let's say your wife is like, hey, let's dress up as...
Ooh, no way.
Oh
No.
my gosh.
Why does she?
What?
She would know not to ask. That's calls for dismissal.
Wow.
Well, let me tell you. Well, what if, by the way, not only you're dressing up, but you're dating a certain amount of time. You're going to a big Purim party. Okay. What's the timeline on the dating relationship? Can you take them? Can you not
When
take
can you
them?
take
okay?
them,
Yeah,
right?
I just went out. I'm going out with the girl 3 weeks. I have a very nice, awesome Purim party coming up. Can I take her?
Is it a family party?
Well, it could be or it couldn't be. Which one? What's the
Family
answer for
party?
either or?
No,
definitely
no way.
not. Definitely not. I think.
They'll end up in your pictures, and you have
then
to
it might
think
not
about
work,
every
yeah.
year from the next like 10 years in your
Yeah.
family WhatsApp group, and everyone's asking, "Who's IJ with?
Right.
What's he doing with?"
Yeah, okay, fine. So that makes
Arab?
sense. That makes sense. Yeah, that girl dressed up as as a gypsy. Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
it's
like
n-
gypsy. Yeah, gypsy costumes are good. That's good. That's girls wear gypsy costumes.
They do, but if it's not a family party, you
Angels and
you-
devils also.
you could take them after like 3 weeks, after 10 dates. Once you've committed
Ooh.
Ooh,
more
10
in.
dates? That's a lot.
a non-family party, 10 dates.
Have you made it to 10
Minimum.
dates? No,
Have I made it to?
I don't have to answer that.
Not with. I'm not gonna say. that.
Fredo hasn't.
Yeah.
And, okay, Misty, a guy asked you, what would you say? A guy asked you, what would you say? Tell me.
No, again, it depends what party.
You know, tell me if you would say yes. Okay, friend party, 3 dates in, would you go?
No.
5 dates in, would you go?
So much pressure. I don't know, honestly.
10 dates in, would you go?
Stop, I don't know.
10
You're
dates is
married.
like-
You're married. Would you go?
We're married. No, I wouldn't
no,
go.
for sure not.
It's
Go without
encroachment.
me.
You're encroaching the relationship. It's
No.
too much.
10
too
months
soon.
in?
10 months.
10 months in, you wouldn't go. Okay, fine. So warranted.
What about chalk-manos?
That's
what about
a good one.
chalk
I don't know.
for some people?
Oh, like
when can
giving?
you deliver?
I did it before. I've done it before.
It gets into the category of gift giving a little bit, but it's
It can
chalk-manos.
be cute, but
But you're
it can be
supposed to
weird.
give to your
Well,
friend, and do you want to
everyone would
consider
agree.
them your friend? Is
No,
that a thing?
we'll all agree. We'll all agree on. We'll all agree on. You can do it. That's everyone is agree. When can you do it? Is the question. What's the earliest time you can go give Michelle? As a girl, let's hear. Avery, you sit and think. No, fine. Avery, you go. Misty, I'm asking you next.
These are great questions. Who came up with these?
You-
Actually, I didn't have anything.
Dates. 6 dates.
6 dates.
6 dates, and you need
Or-
them to commit to paying one of your bills, like a lease or rent. There you go. Something like that.
what?
Okay,
what-
Misty, how about that? What would you say? Mishloach manos. You're going to deliver Mishloach manos to him or her, to her and to him in your situation.
And what type of Michelle wants? Does it have to be, are you going to package it? You're going to buy it from like Gourmet Glot, pick it up? Or are you going to make it yourself? 'Cause if
yeah.
it's not made
So
yourself.
I made it myself.
if they find it
Well,
somewhere
ask
else,
me,
it's a
ask
big
me.
problem.
Oh.
Do you make them yourself, IJ?
So basically I delivered Mishloach manos like 2 or 3 years ago for the girl, and I was like, I think it was like 4 dates in. So I was like, I just wanted to. Like I was just like, I'm in the mood. So I went for it. I delivered it to her. I made it myself. I momish like blisters, paper cuts, staples, shots.
Wow.
It was crazy. And momish went all out for her. And we actually went out for a nice chunk of time after that, I would say. But it sent the wrong message. Looking back, I think it sent the wrong message.
What do you mean? Like what?
Because for her, it kind of like garnered in some security for her, like, oh, like this guy's here to stay. So she felt like she didn't have to tell me certain things. Like I was automatically like, you know, committed, and that bit us in the
What did you give
after.
her? What did you gift her?
What did I give the Shmishloch Manos?
Yeah.
Oh, it was
was it like candy rings or something? What were you imposing?
I got a great thing. So I basically went on Instagram. I had an idea of what I wanted to find, make. So I found it. I put it on there. I designed it myself, and then I went to Kmart. I went to Kmart and I got chocolates and the candy. This thing was not Parav. Okay, put it that way. It was not Parav. Went full dairy, and I just loaded up with a lot of stuff. It was great. It was awesome. She actually used it. She was in like a medical program, so I threw some like medical stuff in there. It was cute. High five, IJ. High five.
The great thing to do also on Purim when you're dating somebody is have a nice stack of cash on you. Give them out. She thinks you're very generous, at least for a day when it's a mitzvah. After that, you just don't really worry about it.
Wow. Great messages you guys are sending.
Come on, man.
Wow.
That's what we're here for. We're the Purim, the Jewish etiquette Purim guidebook, aside from the Megillah. Like, you have to know what to do.
Well, can the woman drive, though? Because obviously the guy's going to be sitting there
the woman
drinking and getting drunk.
Drive, no?
Should she drive on
Is that
Purim?
misogynist?
Is that allowed?
Is that
What do you mean drive?
Expecting the woman
drive.
to not...
Drive where?
Like, you're 10 dates in.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, well, let's deliver Mishloach Manos together. You know? I mean, that might be too early, honestly, 10 dates. Whatever.
Yeah,
let's say
very...
you're dating someone for 3 months.
Okay.
2 months.
Yeah.
2 months. 2 months you're with her, because that's that early peak, you know. That's what we're kind of alluding to here. It's early peak. You're dating someone
before
for 2
she got
months.
away.
Before she got away, yeah. And so 2 months, okay? So it's 2 months in. You're dating that person. You're like, let's deliver Mishloach Manos together. And you get down. You get to her house. You're totally wasted from your Rebbe's, whatever, Hanukkah, Purim Masiba, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Usually, like, the wife puts out some...
It's a Suda.
Suda. The wife puts out some drinks.
And then like the guy's like, okay, you drive.
Oh my gosh.
Do you drive? Is that okay? What would you do? You just leave him there.
No name, doesn't even explain who you are.
Would you take care of him? That would be really nice. What if he came back drunk after?
You better not like throw up in the car.
Would you take care of him?
They would say something like, "You girl, I've been dating. I took you out for 2 months."
Yeah, you without a name. You. Ugh.
You.
Take an Uber.
Cassandra.
Sadly, the worst stories have happened from Purim because guys get too drunk and they bring out their real self.
Yeah.
And then it become real pigs.
Yeah.
To girls.
Exactly.
Now,
could happen.
Does happen.
Can you bring that person to your Rebbe? I would say no. So last thing though, I did want to ask.
That was very like
one thing I wanted to bring up actually. What if you don't want to spend Purim with her, and it's like
you don't want to spend Purim with him
or him? Yeah. Okay. So Misty.
Right. You have a better time with your friends.
Yeah.
You have a better time with your friends. You have this whole thing.
Or
you
guys
just get the car. You go collecting.
Yeah.
So then tell them.
You're just not in the mood.
Tell them.
Misty,
tell who?
What would you say?
Yeah, what would you say?
Try to be as nice as possible. Don't be fully like a. Just be like, I don't want to spend Purim together. Okay, obviously in a nicer way, but like, I don't know, just be honest. Because if you make something up and then they find out that you lied, that's worse, you know? Like, I'm going away for, I don't know. People go away for Purim. I don't know.
So you're just saying blatantly.
Okay, not blatantly, but be nice. Don't.
Here's the answer.
Don't say you're going to work and you're not.
And then they see you on Instagram.
Yeah, well, that's a good reason.
You like posting something at a party.
Lie.
That's a good reason. Like, oh, I'm going to work today. And you're just like chill in the jacuzzi.
And they find out later.
Well, here's the answer you're going to get, Misty, from telling just a guy straightforward, bluntly, brashly.
Okay, not like.
I don't want to spend Purim with you.
Not like that.
That's all. That's all you're going to get.
Right.
You're not going to get any. Like, he's just going to be like, what the heck?
On a separate note, you're in a serious relationship. You're in a serious committed relationship. Do you have to go to him for the Suda? Does he have to go to you? Who does it fall on? The guy or the girl? What do you think?
That's hard. I don't know. That's a really good one. I think whichever one you feel more comfortable with now. Like.
Well, I think it's the girl. You give them that. Respect if they want you to come over. I don't know. You give the girl
a choice
decision. You give them the decision.
Well, ultimately, like I would just
especially if she's driving.
So I would just close with the Purim segment like this. Like, you're promulgating the relationship. You're making it widely known that, hey, we're somewhat official, or there's a lot of potential here. So be careful with it. Don't rush into it. Take your time with it. Don't make yourself crazy. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. Or, keep on listening over and over the podcast. And even gauge friends, gauge married friends, not single friends, but married friends. Hey, what did you do? What did you do here at that time? And I would say about the one that got away also, just to kind of close, and then we can all each share. Yeah, I would just say with the one that got away, it's really real, and don't let anyone, minimize that. Like, stand up and say, that was real to me. And if you are telling me that it wasn't real, we can't have a relationship, you and me. Okay? So that's how I would handle it. Avery?
Good point. I obviously, like we discussed in the episode, I disagreed with you guys that the one that got away is a real thing. I thought it was a myth. I thought it was fake. So let it be away. There is no such thing because you're here for a reason. You got past that moment. And this is how you're supposed to deal with it. You're supposed to be going on and moving on. So there is no got away. Don't think about them. They're out of your head, out of your mind for good. Miss D, what do you have to say?
Wow. Do not agree. But I think you should have a balance between acknowledging it. Like, yes, it was real and it's hurtful that it didn't work. But at the same time, keep moving forward and finding ways to just move forward in everything. It's that balance. It's always balance. So that's what I think.
Well, happy all you listeners could listen in again on an episode of the Nobody Talks Shidduchim podcast. You can follow us on Instagram at Nobody Talks Shidduchim. We also have our website is shidduchpodcast.com. And of course, we will see you on the single journey next time.
The LMNO Broadcast Network.